Greetings mod mates, and welcome to the latest instalment, which is going to be a GMT build. I've got a Submariner case. I've already put the stem into the crown from the case and popped that into the NH34 movement. I've got a nice old school bezel to go on this old school case, which has got a quite a bulbous, it's not domed, but it's quite a protruding glass. We've got the Cyclops magnifier on there as well. The face is quite pretty in the sort of Rolexy style, and the hands are in the Tudor style for the main hands, and the additional hour hand is in the Explorer 2 original style. So we'll get on with it. I'll clean down a few things and you know, go for the dial in the usual manner. So job number one is clip, the old clippers. We've got a 3 o'clock, so we snip away the lugs on the dial that are nearest 3 o'clock and leave the ones that are furthest away. So just moving the movement out of the way, and I'll just snip those off so you can see. Boom, boom. Okay, so that's that done. We'll just do a little bit of filing. I'll find my cushion to put the thing on while we do a bit of filing. Just gotta find the as usual, fetching a bit of the old paint off the back of the dial while we file, and that's going to reveal to us what this is made of. It's looking pretty steely, as opposed to being brass, which is kind of the preferred dial substance. Brass dials obviously being less apt to corrode over time and leave a residue in the back of the watch. So I get rid of that. Bring the movement back into the picture. Give the back of the dial a good clean with the Rodico, so that we're not putting any filth into the watch movement. Yeah, that's good. So flip it over and pop her in. That way, that's good. Clean my nasty fingerprints off it. So that's in, and then we'll get on with the hands. Job number one, of course, is to set the time to 12 o'clock. So pull that all the way out and just keep winding as if we're turning the time hands to set them, and we just keep going until, there we go, until we have a bit of a movement and in the date, and the date we'll just flick over, that's it. So that's 12 midnight, and we're going to set the hands to that. First one to go on is going to be the GMT hand, which is unhelpfully upside down. So I guess my first little job is actually just going to try and turn that over, and then pick it up with my friend Mr. Rodico. It can go anywhere, as in point to any hour. There's no... I'll see where that... Yeah, so that can go. I was just checking to see how wide a pusher I'd got, and I don't think I've got the width to get it on there. So I'm just going to change that over, just get a slightly wider one, just to push my GMT hand down. What I'm also going to do is move it, getting a bit of a plastic, so I'll move it so it's sat exactly on an hour. I think I might use the 6 o'clock. And I think it's already on the pinion a little bit, which is a shame, so I'm just gonna... I don't really want that on the pinion right now, so I want to be able to turn it a little bit, line it up properly. Don't want it, does it? That's flicked it over, so I'm just going to pick her up, actually, and see if that's loosely enough on. It's really going onto the pinion very quickly. Okay, let's cock on that. It's just not quite right, that. No. I think that one is the easiest one to actually put on, but it's I want that absolutely cock on, if I can get it there. So let's have a little go. Boom. There we go. That is stupendously aligned now. So next little job is to get the hour hand on, which is the correct way up, which is good news. I don't know if you can see that. I'll just put it on that over there and then move it around. So that's very slightly on the pinion. Should allow me to. It's very slightly just dropped off it, as they always do. Slightly loosened, slightly tightened again. Let's get that round into the 12 o'clock position. There's a fair bit of margin for error, but that looks about perfect. So let's let it go round then, shall we? So our hand should go. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's like a billionth of a millimetre out there. So whether I can just tweak it a little bit as I get that a bit further down on the pinion. So whether I can just give it a little nudge. Not really. I'm just going to check that for depth on the pinion. That looks pretty good. There's a fair bit of clearance between the two hands so far, so that's quite good. So I think we can safely go for the minute hand now. Again, I'll put it onto the side. And then have a bit of a twizzle. Using the pusher. That's not absolutely ideal. Let's just have a look. Okay, not bad. It didn't really want to do very much in the way of twisting, that one. So maybe we'll start by having it at 12. Right, get on. Not bad. Oh. Trouble. So what I don't know actually is whether I've got the right, I've just got that hands from. I'm going to get the face protector on if this goes tits up again, because I don't want to go scratching the face when I'm trying to push this on. I've probably got too large a hole in the bloody pusher. That's why it's difficult. It's probably just slipping down over it. Yeah. True. That was. Okay, that's on its pinion nicely. Just pat it down at the front a little bit. Make sure there's plenty of clearance between them all, which there is. That looks very nice, very nicely centered. It's probably just pointing up a little bit more than we'd perhaps want. It's going to run into the, if I don't flatten it down a bit, it's just going to run into the second hand, I would have thought. So I'm just going to try and push it down a bit at the front. There we are, that's nicely aligned. It's nicely, yeah, it's just overdone it now. So it just wants to come back up a bit. Beautiful, isn't it? That is beautiful. Absolutely bang on that. Very pleasing. Very pleasing indeed. So, yep, they're all free as a bird and la-di-da. So just the second hand to go on. Gosh. Question is, do we put a fancy second hand on or anything like that? Sometimes I just get the impression that the hands are leaning. It might be a bit of an optical illusion, and I'm worrying over nothing, but you know, sometimes it just feels that way. So I'm going to put the very smallest hole on the pusher, tiny little hole, and then we will get this second hand on. These are always the fun. Again, just learning from previous experience, in actual fact, before I even attempt this bit of trickery, is I'm going to put my light on in order that I can actually see the little pinion that it's got to go on. They say at sniper school, you know, you can slow your heart down, and you actually need to do that with these things, because those sort of micro adjustments which your hand is doing for you involuntarily are quite telling. So let's just wind that up. No, that's not on. That is not on. It is miss. I'd stuffed it down the side of the pinion. So that was not on at all. As I say, the micro adjustments of the remnants of being out for a curry last night doesn't feel as if that's on either, to be honest. No. Yeah. 12 pints of beer and some Indian tiffin later, and we're on. So I'll just give that a good push. Okay, we're on. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. All right, and that's going nowhere near the minute hand, so I don't really need to watch it go all the way around, but I probably will. Next job will be to flip it over, take the crown out and offer it up to the case. But I think what we'll do first is we'll give the dial a good clean, make sure that any dust that had settled on it while we were working is removed. Just see one or two white spots. Handy having this light on it actually, just to show those up. You can see this Rodico is actually getting a bit dirty now as well. So I'll just stop it and I'll move the hands out of the way of where I can see some more dust down in there. That's good. I mean, I say it's good. It's not bad. Just see one bit of dust that maybe, just maybe in there, look. Sort of just above 2 o'clock. Yeah. Yeah. That's good. Not too many fingerprints from myself. I'll just move these round, make sure there's nothing that was kind of hidden as well. And then turn it over. The ridge is quite narrow, so that won't hit any hands as we're doing that. I need to push it in to expose the lever. I'm going to get one of my, actually I was going to get a business card, but I think I'll just put it onto my fingers actually, and just offer this up to the case. I probably ought to do the same job with the case first, of making sure that that's absolutely clean. So I'll stop the video while I just do that. Okay, so she's clean. I did it with a bit of Rodico and a bit of a blast of air. So it's just a case of casing this up, as it were. That's it, somewhere near. I'll just turn that over. and we'll fettle that in. I can actually use the stem just to line it up. I'll push the stem in, and then I'll just use my case tool here just to very gently get the dial seated correctly against the chapter ring. The movement nice and tight into the case. That should be about it. Yep. 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 That's pretty good. Pretty good. So it's measuring time for the stem. That'll be the next little job, is to take the stem out. Guess what? That's it. Guess what? 6 mil. It's always 6 mil. Everything seems to be 6 mil. So that's good. We pushed in. The lever's exposed. I'll take it out. Put the watch to one side, and I'll just undo that. Actually, with the light on, I can actually see the entire depth of the crown piece there, which is interesting. Never actually been able to see into such a tiny hole before. So get myself a bit of tape. See if I can guess 6 millimeters. Very well. What do you reckon? Think that's going to be anywhere near? Well, would you believe it? It's cock on. Must be getting good at this. So I'll fetch that off with the pliers. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. That's assuming I don't drop them all over the king shop. There. Yeah, that's probably about right. Off she goes. Gonna leave the stem in the masking tape there, just to so I can grip it most easily, and then I'm just gonna create a dome. I can see a bit sticking up there. You got me? Okay, I think that's about enough. I think that's okay. Just see if I can wind that on. Yep, that's winding on okay. So I'll get some stem glue and bit more of it on my finger than I have on the stem. Okay, that's that. I'll pull the masking tape off now. Probably going to clean that with a bit of Rodico as well. Looked like there was a bit of the sticky off the tape got left on it. Yeah, I don't really want anything sticky going into the movement that got left on there. Take some of the excess of that blue sticky away and wipe that on my jeans. That'll please her indoors. And I will make sure that that's tight on. Yep, that's good. Bit of something nasty there, whatever that was. I'll pop that in, see if that, so that winds independently, which is what we need. So I want it winding independently without it screwing onto the, onto the I could probably take another mill off that. Unfortunately, I think the stem's a bit long. I probably need to take another millimetre off that. So that's going to be the next little job. So I did that off camera, just because you'd seen the thing happening once, so that was enough. So that's all good. Next little job is to actually put the back on. I've got a gasket that was being greased there, ready for it. Yep, that's good. So that's that. Nicely on. Last little job then is going to be getting that bezel on. Just make sure that that's in position where you can see it, and I'll hook the I'll just make sure that's against it's actually bi-directional, not unidirectional, so it really doesn't matter. It doesn't even need lining up, frankly. I can just whack this. In. I'm going to line it up anyway, because that's the kind of guy I am. There we go. That's it. Get a bit of a cloth and wipe the face because it's got a bit dirty while it's been upside down. And there it is. That is the finished article. Yeah, I like that. I do like that. That's great. There's a good choice of hands, actually. You know, those standard sort of Rolex hands, these ones, I just get a bit tired of looking at those, to be honest with you. So I think that's a success. So I'll take some photographs and we'll bang it on the Mantomod site. See you later.